Well, hello. It's about 11 o'clock at night here. I took a nap this afternoon, so I'm full of energy, probably till 3 a.m. I thought I'd make a video about shelf-stable dairy products and shelf-stable egg substitutes. Why would you want to have these substitutes? Well, for starters, you might live far away from a grocery store, and it's nice to have some backup materials in case you can't get to the store in time and you're running low on milk, or you want to do some cooking or baking and you have no more eggs, or the eggs are sort of promised for another project. It's really nice to have a backup plan. Also, if you're like me, you have sort of limited refrigerator space. I have a very small refrigerator. I don't have a lot of room. So I have enough room for, a dozen eggs and maybe a little bit of this and that. So it's really great that I don't have to take up refrigeration space for dairy products and egg products, because I have them in a shelf-stable form. In the case of losing power here in Northern California with the power outages, we often are informed a couple days ahead of time that we're going to be without power for multiple days. At least that was the case last year. And you might want to just finish everything you have in the refrigerator and not replenish it, because there's going to be no refrigeration for days on end. So it's nice, again, to have kind of a backup plan once you've finished your fresh items, to be able to at least have some form of eggs and milk for other food purposes. Also, the pandemic has created another set of circumstances when suddenly milk and eggs you could only buy a limited amount, or you couldn't find them. So having this backup, at least for cooking and baking purposes, is important. Finally, if you don't use a lot of dairy products, it's kind of nice to just have it on demand. For me to buy a whole gallon of milk for myself would be a complete waste. I use it rarely. I use any sort of milk, coconut milk, cow milk, any of that stuff. I use the liquid form very rarely. I don't drink it, but I do use it sometimes in cooking. So it's nice to sort of have it, on demand when I need it. Eddie loves his milk and loves his eggs, so that's awesome. He can have the milk and the eggs, and I don't have to dip into that either when it's time for me to cook or bake, because I already have it in a powdered form or in a shelf-stable form. One of the items I really enjoy are egg replacer. Now, this egg replacer, you can't use it for the sort of things you'd use eggs for, in the sense of scrambling or stuff like that. This is strictly for baking. There's no egg product in it, actually, but I've used it for years for making quick breads, or for making cookies, or anything where you'd have egg in it, and it works just fine. This particular brand, Bob Red Mill, is really good, but I've used other brands too, and they are all equally as good and serve the same purpose. I have some non-dairy milk substitutes, or alternate milk products that are shelf stable. One of them is this powdered coconut milk I got through Amazon, and also powdered soy milk. And these are so handy for cooking, and also for making smoothies, for example, when you want a little bit of liquid in there, more than just water. I'll put a tablespoon or whatever it is and some water, and it kind of gives the smoothie a little bit more bulk. So anyway, these two items, you could get other powdered milks, I'm sure, too, not alternative milks, but these are the two I like. For dairy, I hit the jackpot before the pandemic, and at Grocery Outlet I got a huge box of these envelopes of non-fat dry milk. They are still in the package. I haven't gotten through them yet, because I had some other milk products, powdered milk products I'm still working through, but because they're in an envelope, you just need to use, you're not opening up a whole can and then exposing your whole investment to whatever. I just take out an envelope and use it. It's great. I've used it in Hamburger Helper or other things where you need to have a milk product in there, and it's just so handy to have. I also sprung for some powdered buttermilk a few months ago, also on Amazon, basically for baking. Certain recipes call for buttermilk, and I just thought I would have it. Even though it doesn't say refrigerate after opening, after I opened it, I put it in the freezer. I figured because it's in a big bag like this and it's still an animal product, a dairy product, I just would feel happier that it was in the freezer. What I might do is take some of it out and put it on the shelf and leave the rest in the freezer, so I'm not pulling it in and out of the freezer, but again, it's not required, but that's just a personal preference. So those are the shelf-stable milk products and egg replacement products I successfully use here for cooking and baking. They're a really important part of my pantry stash, and as things get stranger and stranger, I just feel that I made the right decision in investing in them a little bit. At least I know I have them. They're kind of on demand, and you know, it's one less thing I have to worry about. Anyway, happy prepping, happy cooking, and thank you so much for watching.